This is a review of my Tarptent Rainbow, which I've had for about 6 years and I've used very extensively in Wales, which is where I am now, in the Lake District, no, not in the Peak District, I've never actually camped in the Peak District, in Scotland and the Pyrenees. So I've used it very extensively, and this is a sort of long-term review. I'll tell you the things that I like about it and what I don't like about it. First of all, it's very, very light. It's astonishingly light for a one-man tent, really, and that's partly because it's single skin. I think there's a sort of British prejudice against single skin tents, and I don't really understand it actually, because, well, I do understand it, I should say, but it's unfounded in my opinion. The sort of alleged problem with single skin tents is they have a problem with condensation and moisture, which, well, yeah, they might do a little bit to some extent, but all I can say is, you know, speaking from experience, never mind the sort of abstract theorizing, I've had this for about 6 years now. I've used it extensively, and just once I've had problem with condensation, and I was camped beside Grisdale Tarn in the Lake District, and yeah, it was drenched in the morning because it was a high humidity place and it was very warm and there was no breeze. I'll talk about that in a second. But just, you know, once in about 6 years have I had a major problem, and furthermore, if I'd had a double skin tent, it would have been exactly the same. You know, a double skin tent would have been drenched as well. So what you say, what you gain from single skin is it's lighter, and it's also easier to put up. But in regard to breeze, you know, that links nicely with one feature of this Tarptent Rainbow to talk about. What you have around the bottom is a mesh panel. As you can see here, I don't know if it's very clear because it's, well, that's mesh, you can see through it. That'll show what I'm talking about. Now, that's why it's called a tarp tent, because it's sort of midway between a tarp, where you have, you know, it's not sealed. In fact, you can see the breeze. Look at the wind coming through. So there's a very good breeze which blows through. Now that's partly because this is really for sort of 3-season warm conditions, where, you know, having a breeze is really nice, and partly because if you've got that breeze, it takes out any condensation that might develop. So you've got the mesh panel around the bottom, and then you've got this little mesh panel up here, which is also doubles as a window. Nice little window. I often peep through here in the morning to see what the weather for the day is looking like, and you know, it's breezy. It's breezy now. You can see the wind, the breeze blowing the ground sheet up there, and that's what it's like, which is lovely in warm conditions. It's not good for winter. I wouldn't recommend this particularly for winter, where you want to be as sealed and secure, as snug as possible. It's not what the tent's designed for. It's 3-season. What else can I say about it? This is a valley pitch, incidentally. This is not really how my tent usually looks when I'm wild camping. I don't usually use this. I upgraded this some years ago. It's the old style thermarest. I've got the lighter one now, the green one that you blow up like a sort of mini blow up mat. This is the old one, but this one is tougher and possibly more comfortable as well, but it's bigger and heavier, and I'm using it for my valley camp for the moment. What else? All the little features. Okay, you've got Velcro doors. Now, they're nice and light. There have been times where I wish these Velcro attachments were a little bit more secure, or more to the point, if there was some other system, possibly a zip. Zips can break, yes, but the problem with this is in wind it blows open, and there was one time where I was camping beside the sea, and it was absolutely atrocious because the sea wind was just you know, and about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you know, this ripped open and the wind was coming in and I was getting wet. It's not very nice. You've got a little what do you call it, mesh inner door thing here, which you can tie back with Velcro, which works very well. If you take it down, it comes out, and then you've got a zipper for your inner protection against midges, which is essential in Britain, I think. I think you're mad if you haven't got this sort of protection. If you want a tent to sort of cover, you know, various eventualities, I mean, it's fine if you've got the money and, you know, interest to have maybe 2 or 3 tents, but if you don't, I don't think I can do this one-handed. If you don't, I think you need bug protection in Britain, you know, for a tent, particularly in Scotland. It's very spacious. I don't really know if this, I've tried doing this before, I don't think I can capture it. I don't think it'll work, but it's just very, very spacious. I'll show you a little bit of what I mean. I can stand like this, look. I'm about 5'8", and I can stand, you know, like this. Obviously I'm not standing up totally, but it's standing up sufficiently to put trousers on, sort of move around, you know, if it's more advantageous to sort of stand up slightly like this, you can do it. For one, it's luxurious. What else can I say? I'll show you a bit more of the outside. I mean, Wales, one of my favourite campsites anywhere really, but it's actually in Wales. That's the valley down there. Lovely valley, lovely valley. Here's the rest of the campsite, very nice. The pegs, there's 6 of them. This is rather, you know, it's not very substantial, but I've not had a problem with it, so it appears to be reasonably tough. It's not very good in wind. That's one disadvantage, I would say. I mean, it's superbly light. I think it's about 800 grams, something like that. It's easy to pack away, easy to put up as well. It only takes a few minutes. You just thread the pole through this plastic channel here, thread it through, single hoop design. Then you've got this cross piece at the top, which adds a bit more stability, and also it, you know, increases the dimensions slightly of the tent. It's not good in wind. I mean, it's big for one, which makes it, you know, wonderfully comfortable, but it also gives it quite a high profile in the wind. I understand there's a later version of this Rainbow which has got additional guy line attachment points. I think there might be one there and there. If you haven't got that, or I'm mistaken and the latest one hasn't got that either, it is possible to have those adjustments made if you go to a sort of specialist tent repair type place. They can do that kind of stuff, and it would actually make a big difference, because you can pretty much get a sense that yes, this is going to be blown around a lot in wind, and it most certainly is. It's not very nice actually if you're inside, and there have been times where the whole thing has sort of flattened down against me. Really not nice at all. And having just 2 more guidelines, one there, and possibly 1 or 2 more at the front would help a great deal. You know, and sort of weight obsessives, well, you're talking about another 10 or 20 grams or something, you know, completely negligible. So I'd recommend that. It's not good in wind. It's not good in winter either, actually, because of the ventilation, but it's fantastic for 3-season and warm summer use. And it's wonderfully spacious, wonderfully light. So the Tarptent Rainbow, they're not currently available in Britain. You have to get them shipped over from America. It's kind of halfway between a tarp and halfway between a tent, hence the name.